am so glad you're here. And you must be here because you are trying to figure out a way to make math better. My name is Robin van der Zanden. I am the founder of Booyah Math, and I want to take 10 minutes just to talk to you about our Problem Solvers series. I'm going to share my screen just to kind of go over a few things. That's going to help you see the what is the problem in our math teaching, the why it's happening, and how Booyah has product to help you make your math better. So basically, I have been in education for 25 years. Everything I'm sharing with you are things that I have learned either from professional development, programs that I've applied and been accepted to, my own personal readings, and of course, my own work in my classroom. I have taught kindergarten, second grade, and third grade, so I am a lower elementary teacher, and I see such a need for us to start this process in the lower grades, and hopefully it'll trickle up to the upper grades. In my work, I have noticed that curriculum has gaps, and I'm sure you have felt it too. We're missing things like real world problems, estimation, opportunities to see that math is everywhere, lots and lots of tools. We need to fill our students' mathy toolbox, little tool belt up with lots of different ways to solve a math problem. So this is what Booyah is all about. We're about giving you tools, but in a supplemental form, because we understand that you cannot just ditch your curriculum, and time is precious. So we want to make this as powerful and colorful as language arts time, because we all know math seems to be gray and dreary, and language arts is fun. So here's the why. Why do we need better math? Again, these are things I've learned from reading Marilyn Burns, listening and reading Joe Buller, Megan Franke, Kathy Richardson, all great authors if you are looking for some great books. But basically, we've kind of gotten away from concrete experiences. Our math is pretty much teaching algorithms, and a math page is all about practicing that algorithm. And what's happening is children aren't seeing relationships between math concepts. They have to construct these things in their own minds, and they can't access them solely from abstractions. So children tend to see that math is something, you do something to symbols, okay? And that's how you get to the right answer. So math is about getting the right answer and doing something to the symbols. So basically, you're gonna get a child saying, all right, 3 plus what equals 10? Well, I see the 3, I see the 7, I see an adding sign, and so I'm just gonna put those together and the answer is gonna be 10. They're not making any sense of what the meaning of the problem is. They're just pulling things apart. So this points to the notion that children rely on following recipes, and that's pretty much what we're teaching them. The curriculum is teaching them recipes to follow rather than giving them space to and tools to reason what makes sense to do. We want to step back and have them understand what's happening in the problem. So why are our students coming to us with absurd answers that don't make sense? Because students are following the recipes we taught them, and math is something you do to symbols, doing something to symbols. So now let's talk about what is needed. There's lots of changes that need to get made, and you're not going to be abandoning this. I'm going to get to the how. We need to change the aim in math. We want it to be about thinking and not just answers being the right answer. We want to change the idea that there's one right way to do math. We want to change the separation. We want to have kids understand that the symbolic method used to produce math results is linked to the meaning in the math problem. There is a connection there. So we tend to teach things where they're separate. We want to bring that connection back. We need to change the needs. So curriculum tends to start with the practice of an algorithm, and then you have the math problems, the word problems at the bottom. We want the word problems to be the starting point. The word problems are going to establish that need for our students to learn the math, and it's going to give them a context. So no more hearing students say, why do I need to learn this? If we're starting with the word problem, we are going to create that need. We also want to provide problems that spark children's natural curiosity. Math kind of has a way of, the curriculum has a way of kind of deadening it. We want to turn that around. And in this, we're going to create a safe and supportive environment so they can practice the skills and tools they need later. And here is my last change. I always save the best for last for some reason, including when I'm eating on my plate. I want to change the push. Curriculum tends to drive the students, hurrying them along, but we want to switch. Children must push the curriculum. And I don't mean completely get rid of it all, but we want what our students are doing to drive what we're doing in our mini lessons and tool talks for math. So basically, in a nutshell, as teachers, we need to present word problems frequently. And I want you to see this without the distraction of numerical symbols. Just presenting word problems, talking about how they can be solved, how would you attack it. And this needs to be done, I want you to, it's in bold, frequently, several times a week throughout the entire year at all grade levels. That means us lower elementary teachers too. The goal is for students to generalize from themselves, from lots of experiences, how arithmetic operations are described in the language of the real world. Okay, I'm not even going to get into that. This is not to be confused, so do not think that I am asking you to create or make more of those lovely word problems at the bottom of the page in the math book, that giving them more of those is going to be the practice that they need. Absolutely not. That is just more practice with algorithms, okay? We want to separate from these kind of tasks or problems where deciding the method to solve is not part of the task. The children have no need to decide anything. They just find the numbers and plug it into the algorithm that they've practiced on 20 problems up above. So look at the blue here. We want problem-solving situations that demand that the child develop a plan for solutions and execute it, okay? That's our goal. Now, as teachers, we want your mathy tool belts to be filled so that you aren't just teaching algorithms. There's a time and a place for that. But what's more important is you're teaching them problem-solving techniques, strategies, tools, and approaches, okay? And additionally, we know from research that social interaction is vital during math time. It's not staged on the stage. Okay, we want social interaction to be happening because it stimulates children to think through their viewpoints, and they benefit from talking about their ideas and hearing how their peers are thinking about something. Okay, so I've given you the what, the why, and now I'm going to give you the how. So here is Booyah's problem solving series. This is what's going to be included, and I'm going to just give you a brief synopsis of what is incorporated or included in each of these things. So we have tool talks. Each week you have 5 slides of tool talks. You can do them every day. You can skip. It's totally on you, but these are the talks that are kind of like your number talks that are going to teach kids how to look at a problem and how the tools can help you solve the problem. We're going to put that connection back again. But the tool talks are going to start with a math problem. So kids are seeing, hey, I need to learn some more math. I don't know how to solve this. I have some ideas, but I don't quite know. And you're going to have the opportunity to go back and visit that slide throughout the week as they expand their thinking and horizons with the tool that's being focused on for that week. Bet lines. Bet lines is just a fantastic strategy to help kids really start thinking about what's happening in the math story. So you're going to show them a picture and slowly reveal the different lines of the task, but just starting with the picture, you're asking kids, hey, what could be happening in our math problem today? And that gets them thinking about, oh, well, I think there's some more. I think there's some went away. It's getting them to start realizing all the levels and all the math so that when you finally unpack that problem, they know exactly what to do. They're no longer searching for keywords and recipes. Problem solver tasks themselves. So as we go through the bet lines, we are unpacking the problem tasks that are assigned on Seesaw. And this is nice because you can do these bet lines before lunch, come back, assign the task as a station for kids to work on because you've already talked about what's happening in the problem. These tasks are tied to some of our favorite read alouds for the month for 2 reasons. One, because I feel like it gives kids an even playing field. You don't have to worry about if they've ever had experience with a fish tank if you're giving them a fish tank problem. These stories are about the kids or the characters in the stories that are being read for your shared reading time. And two, the other reason why I chose to build these tasks around these characters and stories is because I want kids to see that math is everywhere. When you sit down and to read a story, it's not just about the language arts time or a story time. It's like, oh, I can see some math happening in this story. So that's our problem solver tests. They are automatically linked to Seesaw, and what you'll find is that there are 9 other slides besides the problem that have tools digitally for kids to use to solve the problem. You'll also find that there's 3 different number sets so that kids of different levels, so that your math problem is automatically differentiated. Win, right? Okay, teacher support tools. We're not just filling the teacher's pockets with great stuff, we're gonna fill your pockets. We're gonna give you tool talk cards to help kids practice how to share what they did to solve the problem. I'm giving you problem solving strategies that you can focus on and zoom in on as you go through your tool talks. And also, one of my favorite components of the problem solver series is the talk moves, also known as math talk. This is just strategies you can focus on. It's involving things like agree and disagree, or repeating, or time to think. These are just ways to grow your mathematical discourse during your math time. My favorite part is this tool has mathematicians focused on the front rather than just cutesy clip art. And we got mathematicians from the past, like Einstein, to mathematicians currently, like Joe Bowler. We've got females, males, all different ethnicities. And the win to me is on the back. You don't even have to research who this is. It will tell you, if there's a bio on each mathematician on the back, just to give you some fun facts and their accomplishments and what they've overcome, just so kids see that these people are just like us. They've overcome, they've pursued, they might have failed at different math things, and yet they had that persistence that we want our students to have. So how it all is gonna work, I'm gonna supply you with some short videos how to do each component so you're not just left in the dark. Tool talks are for 5 minutes a day, and there's brief notes in the PowerPoint section on what the goal is. But again, you can change it based on what your students' needs are. Tool talk cards are going to provide a framework for kids to know how to talk about their problem solving strategies. Math talk cards are going to improve your discourse. Problem solving strategies, just more things to put in the pockets. And our problem solver tasks are based on our favorite stories, linked to Seesaw already. I don't know how much easier it can get for you to turn around and make math better. So thank you for watching this video. Please reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter at Booyah Math, or email me, robin@booyahmath.com. I've got a website. I am here for you. So please reach out with questions, comments, ideas, and you know what? Even share with me. I would be so excited to see how you're using this in your classroom and you're seeing things turn around. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's work together to make math better. Booyah, see the math.